Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. An interesting 24 hours as the 12th CDL spot in Boston has been confirmed by the organisation and the CDL itself, but no name has arrived as of yet. But some players also potentially being offered a spot on that team. Doug St. Martin could be among them. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting that like button is the best thing you can do to help this channel reach new people. Please consider subscribing as well if you have not yet already. Firstly, this from LA Thieves. Welcome home, they say. The Los Angeles Thieves team, they're out now. They're based in the 100 Thieves compound facility, all that type of good stuff. This looking pretty cool, to be honest. So, well, of course, we don't really know how the league is going to be run this year, how much is going to be on LAN, how much is going to be online. We believe, at least last year, the servers for people in LA was slightly better than they were kind of in the Modern Warfare season when they were just transitioning over to that kind of online ecosystem. So we will see. But of course, it might not be ideal for them. We might have some complaints from those guys, but I'm sure for the content side, it certainly is going to be for the better. This also I wanted to say, because yesterday they added some options. Now, credit to the Cellium Games guys for actually adding this into the game, because a lot of people have been asking for this, right? The option in custom games to turn off destructible walls and the doors. So, determines if they're available or not, if they're intact or not. You can just turn them off now. I'm not sure whether this is actually part yet of the CDL rules in itself when you select it in the game, but it may become part of it if the pros want to go down this route. The big question is, to me, how does some of this stuff possibly get through the cracks? Seems like every time they add something to the game, they just didn't playtest it at all. As Bursted is running around right here on Bacage, the breakable walls are gone, but the doors are still here, and the windows as well, even though they don't pose any resistance. I don't understand this. He can just jump straight through the windows and through the doors. We'll have a look back here in just a second. The doors just don't break at all. You just run straight through them. Now, there's been so many clips coming out about this. I just don't understand how the developers possibly look at this and think it's absolutely fine, or, didn't playtest the game at all to realize this is actually an issue. But it's not happening on everyone's screen. That's the remarkable thing about this. As Slasher says, me and Pred are in the same game, doors are gone on my screen, but not his, right? So he says, on my screen right here, the doors are gone, you can't see the door in this image, but on the left-hand side, the doors are still there. So I simply don't understand how this is even possible, but I guess it's something they can fix. Every single thing they do, even if it's positive, somehow it's still broken, right? To be fair, this might play better without doors in this game, or with destructibles or whatever. It might be really crazy, but I think the pros should certainly give it a go, and see if that's going to work better for competitive, as and when this actually gets fixed, right? And they've got a few weeks, I suppose, to figure out whether it's going to be a good idea or not. But in theory, this is a good change, I suppose, from Censor, if it actually worked properly. This then from COD Gamepedia last night. So Octane Esports, this is the organisation that are partnering with the kind of craft sports ventures to bring the 12th CDL spot. They are, they tweet this out yesterday. This was then deleted, but as they say, we're joining forces with the Uprising, that's the Overwatch League team of craft, sports and entertainment, to the Octane family, bringing them in to establish New England as the global leader in esports. And you can see the Overwatch League and the Call of Duty League here on the left-hand side. They then come out with another tweet, at least they come up with an article here that then confirms it's actually going to be Boston, right? Not New England, as some people were initially thinking when they saw this. So this kind of lines up with what we saw just a couple of days ago. This also then from Daniel Saver, he's the general manager now of the Call of Duty League. So I'm pretty sure the former commissioner, Joanna Ferries, went on to an even higher role in kind of, dealing with the Call of Duty franchise in general. And this guy's kind of the new general manager, really commissioner type guy of the Call of Duty League in general. And he says, look, welcome Octane Esports to the CDL as our 12th team. They've shown to be great partners already, excited for their stamp on this league. Boston fans should be very excited about it. So pretty cool to see. They do an official tweet announcing, yes, we are coming into the Call of Duty League. So that's great. We've gone from 12 teams in 2021 to 12 teams in 2022. Come on, baby. We just love to see it. But of course, look, we do have some questions. What is the organisation itself actually be going to be called, right? Because we don't know yet. We have rumours, right, about, what could it potentially be? Now, this comes out from Crone last night. Good bit of investigating from the Call of Duty scene in general. Finds this tweet from the 14th of December, which is from the Boston Breach. Now, this guy says right here, or at least the audio clip in the background says, it took you guys long enough to find us or something like that. Be ready, get ready to go. Now, apparently this was also posted on Instagram and TikTok, as Crone says, from @Boston Breach. Now, could that be the name of the team? It's possible. I mean, it's kind of a weird name, frankly. But I thought the same thing about the Toronto Ultra and these kind of names, which are kind of similar in a way. And honestly, it kind of works out. So I don't mind it, to be honest. Now, whether that's how it goes, whether they go for something else, whether this is just someone trolling, because I guess this came out after kind of the initial Boston leaks were coming through. So someone could have put this together, but it seems remarkably well done, frankly. And especially when you look at the actual, where you look at everything itself, right? I mean, this account was created in December 2021. Obviously, a lot of people are following. I guess I'll have to give it a follow as well, given the situation. And then we get this also from Crone. The email associated with Boston Breacher, Tostino, goes in and tries to access the account, right, and see what the password's going to be, or at least try and guess the password, I guess. And then, he finds out that, well, this is the confirmation code email, which seems like CDL at potentially oxygenesport.com or whatever the case might be. So that could well be the case. Of course, if someone actually came up with that and, actually, well, made this all as a fake, then it's obviously particularly well done. And as Grown says in reply, BostonBreach.com is already taken, registered on December the 2nd. So, of course, that being like, well, quite a way before, the Boston rumors actually came through. So if this is someone kind of just making this up and going along with the flow to just bait the whole community, then they would have had to somehow known in advance that this Boston leak was going to be happening on December the 2nd to register this website. So you would think probably that's not likely. Therefore, Boston Breach seems to be a realistic possibility for the name of this CDL squad. Of course, the team actually has to get some players on as well. Will they just sign up this kind of methods team that we've been talking about the last couple of weeks? Will they just make it easy for themselves and pick up a challenger roster? Or will they actually try and put together a team? I'd much prefer it if they actually, okay, we'll get a general manager in, whoever we're going to try and get, or at least get someone in that maybe has an idea of what players are actually decent, or at least put together some sort of roster which might be interesting. Now, Zed is a potential guy. He drops the W right here, definitely getting involved. And another one is certainly Douglas Censor Martin. This guy's been trying his best to get noticed by these guys the last few days, and it has indeed seemingly been very successful. So he drops the arm emoji here in the reply. He's flexing the guns, and we saw this a couple of days ago, right, where he tweets out like, "Hello, Mr. Craft. My name is Douglas Taylor Martin. I'll be the best decision your organization will ever make. 2 million impression," he says. 2 million impressions on a tweet, shooting my shot for a COD League spot. Wow. Regardless of if I'm joining Boston or competing in challenges, I fully plan on preparing with my team every single day and earning the right to be a professional player. Thank you, with the heart emoji. Doug knows exactly what he's doing. And Octane Esports come in the replies with the eye emoji, and as he says, talk soon. So yeah, seemingly he's getting ready to be in discussions with these guys and get ready to go for the CDL. And even a clip came out last night, I'll share for you guys on screen right now, where he's discussing after a scrim set that, he had some great news during that scrim set. Now, I don't know whether this is just because Oxygen might have replied to his tweet at a similar time, or whether this is because he got a DM from these guys getting ready to go, or it could be something else entirely. But, and of course there were some other things that Doug was doing on the timeline last night as well that you guys may or may not have seen. But, this could potentially be to do with that 12 CDL spot.
Hurry up. Alright. It'll only take 30 seconds.
Sound microphone muted.
Chat, we just got some fantastic news in the middle of that scrim. Fantastic news in the middle of that scrim. Lexi K, thank you for the 11 months. We popping champagne tonight, baby. We popping champagne. Let's go. Let's go. We got that Dom Perignon on deck, baby. Ace of Dance, thank you so much for the 10 months, man. I appreciate it.
Of course, one of the things about this, and I think Clayster does make this kind of relatively well known in this tweet, that, at the end of the day, we're celebrating this 12th team being in the league. But, 12 teams is what we had last year, right? It's pretty much the minimum that we should actually have in the league. Because as Clay says, don't want to sound negative, but I find it funny how getting 12 teams is seen as an accomplishment. Like, isn't that the absolute bare minimum for the league? How are we still at an uneven number of bracket teams? Why is this considered a success with 6 question marks? So Clay not particularly happy with just how this is being perceived. I think this point is a particularly interesting one, actually, about the number of bracket teams, because I guess what he's kind of describing here is the fact that, like, in the bracket right now, there's rumors right now that they want to do like 8 teams only for the majors. If they do only 8 teams for the majors and only 8 teams qualify, I hope they do a straight up double elimination bracket, because that is the problem with 12 teams. You can't do a proper bracket with that number of teams. You have to say, okay, like 6 teams are going to start in winners, or like 6 teams are going to start in losers, and well, one of those teams on either side gets a bye or whatever, right? Which is basically what happened last year, because 16 is the perfect number, really, if you want to do like an ultra mega bracket, right, which we have for the World Championship, where it'd be like, okay, all the teams like line up, get ready to go, and they just have an ultra double elimination bracket starting from 16. 12 doesn't really work because you end up with an uneven number in terms of the bracket as it works out, so you have to give certain teams buys. So 16 I think would be the next step. I think we probably would have got there already if it hadn't been for the pandemic, frankly. That's certainly what Maven was indicating here in the replies. But as he says, look, as Clay goes, like, at the end of the day, the alternative was 11, and the fact that we could at least get someone willing to buy that 12 spot given the state right now is a good thing. I just hate patting each other on the back for something that we've had for the last 2 years, right? So we went from 12 to 12. Maybe next year we go to 16. I don't know. I'm pretty sure other organizations are interested, but I guess that, well, this year and the next couple of years will certainly be a proving ground as to whether this is actually going to be a good long-term investment. This also I wanted to mention, because a lot of talk about this the last couple of days, about some of the things getting added into the game. That CDL Run It backpack that we talked about yesterday. We'll have a look at that here in a second, but as some people were saying playing as Birdman says right here, like he was getting catfished, right? Because he got this, I mean, this is what it was meant to look like. And in the game, it looks like this. Like, you know, what is even going on here? A few people talking about this, to be honest. This also from Standy, right? Because he tweets the same image out on the left-hand or the right-hand side. And this, of course, was that Valorant champion skin that they added to their game, which was particularly cool. And well, as Envoy says, look, we have sick calling cards, though. So, you know, these guys, what are they actually doing at the end of the day? But, I mean, yeah, not exactly the greatest look. There was also this, then, that the flank comes out with last night. I mean, it just seems crazy to think about. This, it seems, is well, the Run It Back kind of pack right here. Run It Back 2022. Like, I was hoping this actually might be some team skins, just with what we talked about the last couple of days. That was probably optimistic, especially because there isn't actually a 12th team right now, so I'm not really sure they would want to release it with 11. They'll probably release it similar to last year when, like, the league launches on about, like, the 5th of February or whatever it was last year, and they release all the team skins at the same time. Hopefully they're quite good. But, I mean, like, what is this, to be honest? Like, they're so bland. It's just black and white. I just don't understand. Like, okay, yes, it goes along with the CDL color scheme, but, you know, as if you're paying $20 for this, right? I just don't see the appeal, quite frankly. But I guess each to their own. And just comparing it really to what Halo have on offer, right? This is what they launched with. Of course, they had a lot more time to prepare their game than we did. Like, they've been, I don't know when the last time they released a Halo was, but like 6 years ago or something. So, you know, they had time to make sure this stuff was going to be good. But it did launch with it, right? And Call of Duty, this is what we get a little bit after launch. It's not exactly the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. And just given we are speaking about Halo, I'm pretty sure yesterday they confirmed what the well, for the Raleigh event coming up this weekend, what is actually going to be. So on Friday, that being tomorrow, I guess, the Raleigh event kicks off. And these are the groups for the pool play. So, of course, Sentinel's not here. They're going to have to fight their way through the open bracket. But, yeah, if you guys want to look at this, I guess I'll bring it up on the screen for you guys. Because I thought it was interesting. Some of these teams, honestly, I've never heard of. Like, who are big and chilling, to be honest. But, you know, fair play. They're an Optics pool. But, yeah, these are the well, the pool play bracket type situation. Not really sure what the group of death is, to be honest. I'm not too familiar with all these rosters. I think Group D probably is pretty nasty. But, I'm not 100% sure. Pool C as well has got Oxygen Esports in there. Quadrant, that, of course, is Lando Norris's team. But Oxygen, of course, who have a Halo team as well. And they're shortly getting into the Call of Duty League as well. So, very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hitting the like button tells the YouTube gods this is a good video. And it's like you should see it as well. And help grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care. And I will see you next time.